The SimZone's Season 8 GT3 Championship, powered by MOZA Racing. The championship consists of 8 weekly rounds, starting in Watkins Glen, New York, and ending in Brands Hatch, UK. At the end of the season, the winner of the championship will receive the MOZA Racing R5 bundle. The R5 bundle includes the MOZA Racing R5 direct drive wheelbase with 5.5 Nm of peak torque. The MOZA ES steering wheel with 22 programmable buttons. And the SRP light racing pedals, made of high-strength steel. Founded by automotive engineers and sim racing drivers, MOZA is a leading innovator in camera stabilization systems and vehicle stability technology. MOZA Racing released their first sim racing product in 2021, and since then, there have been a variety of products for the pros and for home. MOZA Racing is determined to create innovative and professional sim racing equipment that drivers can depend on for quality and endurance. MOZA Racing has also received numerous positive reviews. Here are just some of them.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the SimZone. We're here for round 2 of the MOZA Racing GT3 Championship, and once again I am joined by Cody. Cody, good to have you back.
Yeah, thanks for having me again with this exciting championship, of course, for the MOZA Championship.
Yep, and in round 2, currently in the qualifying session, but we are at Donington Park. Currently, Boothby on provisional pole with a 1:25.590. It's so close at the top. The top 2 just separated by half a tenth. Well, the top 3 are within a tenth of each other as well. Look at that, all 25 5s and 6s, and the top 14, top 15 now separated by just a second.
Yeah, it's so close, and Boothby letting the Audi behind him through. Maybe setting himself up for another lap with 5 minutes to go here. He has plenty of time.
Yeah, it's going to be much closer, I think, this time round than what it was at Watkins Glen. We saw at Watkins Glen, Boothby had quite a fight with Whitehead at the start. Those two broke away from the rest of the pack. You can see there him taking a very wide line, getting a late apex to maximise his speed coming down the start-finish straight. But yeah, we saw them pretty much fighting for the first half of the race, and then Whitehead picked up a bit of damage coming through the bus stop chicane. His Porsche turned into a bit of a plane and caught some air. But that allowed Boothby to pretty much pull away and lap on his own. And obviously taking the win then on the first round. But what is he able to do for this round? He's still currently on provisional pole. Let's have a look at some of the other drivers while we wait. Matthew De Campo currently in P3. He's a 10th up as well, so this could put him on provisional pole. Where is he on track? He's coming through. I believe that's
Oh, he's wide.
hairpin. Is it invalid though? It's not. He's down in his time now. So I'm not sure if he's able to improve. Actually, it's going to be very, very close. He's still got another sector to go on this lap, so you could easily put it back on pole, and he's found another 10th here. Can he hold it on the exit? No, he can't. It's so close here, and could that little bit of slipstream helped him down this straight? We switch to Pisano now, who's 2/10 up here, and he is coming through the S's, this final section of the lap. This could possibly put Pisano on provisional pole, but now DeCampo is 2/10 up. It's chopping and changing here. I think any one of these top 5 can take pole position here with just 3.5 minutes left to go. It's going to be extremely close, and DeCampo running the final corner. What's it going to be for him? Is he going to put it on provisional pole?
P2.
P2. It's not enough. The top dude just separated by 200ths there. And where is Boothby? He's run wide. He's still within track limits though. He's currently a 10th up, but I think he's lost it on the exit there.
And Pisano's also back in the pit lane from P4.
Yeah, he couldn't quite make that time up, so he can do another lap. We might see him back out on track. Leslie there in P7 back out on track as well, but Boothby, who we're currently watching, is ever so slightly up on his time here. Now, can he maintain this through the final 2 hairpins? He's a 10th up, 2/10ths up there. Is he going to hold it on the exit? He is. He's lost a 10th. He's still a 10th up here as we approach the final hairpin. A Porsche there. Just, I believe that was Cosford returning the car to the pits. And Boothby rounding the final corner now. I think he's going to improve on his time here as he crosses the line. And he does a 1:25.475 there from Boothby, giving himself another 10th to Matteo DeCampo.
And still with a lot of cars coming out of the pit lane, and while we were watching Boothby, Sidor put it up into professional P6. We gained some time, but the gap is so close. It's still between P2 and P3 with only 300ths of a second.
Yeah, definitely. And now we've got the top 16 or top 17, top 18 even, or within a second of each other, which is absolutely unbelievable. It's going to be tricky for these guys at the start, definitely.
Yeah, with the field so close, and of course with an hour of racing, hopefully the whole race would be this close.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And we've only got a minute left of this qualifying session, so people will be setting their last laps. Boothby seems to be down in his time, so he might return the car to the pits. We've got the number 75 car about to cross the line. Who's the number 75 car? Let's see if we can find them. Oh, it is Boothby in the number 75, so yeah, there we go. He's going to try once more. I know this will be his last lap, but DeCampo here looking like he might be able to snatch pole off of Boothby. He's a 10th up, coming up towards the final corner, and he needs to make this a good one. 2 tenths up, and you can see that one of the Porsches moving out the way, but I think is it going to be enough? I'm not sure it is.
It is.
DeCampo puts it on provisional pole with 5 thousandths to separate him to Boothby and P2. So close, but Boothby, I think it was wise for him to stay out. He is ever so slightly up on this lap, and this could put him back on provisional pole. This is probably the most interesting qualifying session we've had yet here at the SimZone.
But can he hook it up for the whole lap? With the lap, there's still a long way to go.
Yeah, exactly. Still a lot of time to be lost or maybe even gained, and he's coming through the S's now. He is a 10th up. He's lost it though on the exit. It's still showing purple for me, so he could possibly have this, but will he maintain that through the final 2 hairpins? This is where it can make or break your lap. But Boothby still looks to be up, and De Campo might be slightly worried now. And no, it's not gone purple anymore, but on the exit, it has, and I think
it's
for
a bit
Boothby,
wide.
no, it's not. He crosses the line, and it's still 5 thousandths separating the top two. So De Campo takes pole, Boothby in P2, and today in P3. We'll be back very shortly for the start of the race. Make sure you stay tuned and keep us entertained in the comments. That was crazy. Right, welcome back. We're on the formation lap now for the race. As we saw in qualifying, DeCampo taking pole by just 5 thousandths there. The Team Shazoo GT Omega Porsche taking pole. It's Porsche, Honda, Audi, Honda, Porsche. So the Audi there of Thomas, who got P3 last round at Watkins Glen, breaking the chain there, and some of the track limit bollards are already going flying there. DeCampo not wanting them to be there for the start of the race, but we should see the drivers lining up 2 by 2 very shortly now. And Cody, who's your money on for the race?
I'm going for the guy with the funky livery again, so my money's on Boothby. He was so fast the last race. But with the gap so close between DeCampo and Boothby, and no one knows what's actually gonna happen, so I just hope for a good and clean race, and we will see.
Yeah, it should be a great race between these top guys. It's going to be much more competitive than it was last round, I think, and one of the Hondas there, a bit too eager. I think that's Pisano. But here we go, the drivers lining up 2 by 2. It's going to be quite an early start here as the rest of the grid makes their way around the final corner, but we are now green. There we go, green flags have been waved. DeCampo off to a good start, utilising the Porsche's acceleration. Boothby on the outside, taking a wider line, trying to open up the corner, but they are side by side as we exit Redgate. They want Honda's being pushed out.
A little bit touching.
Yeah, being pushed out slightly wide. I think we're still green, and it looks to be very, very clean on the opening lap here, but looks like DeCampo will hold P1, and Boothby almost losing a position there to Tadej in P3, and like someone said in the comments earlier, Boothby in a bit of a Italian sandwich here. Boothby now looking towards the inside. DeCampo leaving the door open, but he shut that door very quickly there. Holds on there to P1. It's going to be a very tough race for both these two at the top. Tadej behind, now having to defend. One of the Hondas very, very wide. I think that was Pisano. He's now losing position after position. I don't think there was contact. He just went a bit too wide. He has to be very careful here rejoining the circuit as he does, but he's lost so many positions, and he's all the way down to P27 there. So a huge mistake for Pisano, who did so well last round. We go back to the race leader. There's someone there, they're sending it down the inside into the Melbourne hairpin. But DeCampo holding on to the race lead here, followed by Boothby. Then looks like it was Leslie who sent it down the inside there of Giovanni in the Mercedes. But they are side by side. The Mercedes a bit squirrely on exit, but as we come down towards turn 1, the Honda on the inside of Leslie. Is he going to be able to hold that position? I think he is. And there we go. Moves up into, well, holds P7. The Mercedes behind in P8, and Bendetti behind them in P9. Now these two racing for SPQR Racing Team. Now remember, this is every man for themselves, every driver for themselves, but we may see some team orders going on. You know, they might not be battling each other too hard at the opening few laps of the race, but they've got to be careful because they have Malenkov very close behind them in the Audi, followed by Cosford, then Benjamin Borman in the Porsche, and then Chris Vining as well. So we've still got the top 15 very, very close to each other, and that was Cosford looking for a move, but he's backed out of that. He's trying to put some pressure on to Malenkov ahead. He's got a much better exit out the S's. Is he going to have a look into the Melbourne hairpin? He has a look down the inside. He's late on the brakes, but he doesn't go for the move. He backs out of that, and a bit of contact there, and a bit of a concertina effect. He needs to be careful, and a few more drivers being caught up in the background. I believe that was Traction Dave once again being involved in a bit of an incident, but they've got going, and he hasn't really picked up any damage or much damage after that, so that's good to see. But a bit of door
and another
in the final corner. Yeah, oh my god, we've not got a chance to have a break so far.
And with Traction Dave, of course last race was horrible for him with the first lap incident, but now Toon van der Heuvel needs to defend from the the Mercedes behind him, and it seems like he's hanging on, but the Mercedes catching right up to him. It's only 2 tenths between the two of them. It's even a little bit less. But can the Mercedes find a place to overtake?
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. Van den Heuvel's got a big train behind him. Look at this. It's Van den Heuvel followed by McFarquhar, and then Curtin, then Traction Dave, then Christian Osh. Oh my god, this train goes on forever and ever. There's so many battles going on this opening lap, and I think we'll bring up the battle for the race lead as well very shortly, so we can watch them side by side. At the moment, there's a huge gaggle of cars here. It's so difficult to pay attention on what's going on. A bit of door being made between the BMW, and the BMW getting squeezed in the middle. I don't think that was his fault, and Osh getting caught up in that as well. I don't think that was his fault whatsoever. Looks like Pisano once again, involved in another incident. He just squeezed the BMW in the middle, and luckily they didn't pick up too much damage. But the BMW, I can't remember which BMW that is. I think it may have been Julius V's. No, it wasn't.
It was white one, I think, right?
Yeah, it was. It was Sullivan.
Oh, but Sullivan's still hanging on Bothenberg, but Whitburn lost a lot of positions.
Yeah, he has. He's dropping right down the order now as it updates, and Bottenberg currently in P22. He started in P12, so he dropped 10 positions here off the start. He's had a nightmare start here, but doesn't look like he's got much damage on that Porsche, so he'll be looking to gain some positions back throughout this race. We look back towards the top two.
And the top two still close with only half a second. Look at the gap that these guys are gaining on today. The gap already being 3.7 seconds. And Boothby still trying to hold on to the Campo because of course he wants to overtake him for the lead. And now we're going to a split screen.
Yeah, just watching on board with Boothby there, as well as the trackside cameras, and he's taking it patient, you know, he's keeping the gap to the Campo and not letting him get out of sight here. But the Campo is not really feeling the pressure at the moment. He hasn't really made any mistakes, and one of the Ferraris there up ahead. Let's hope they stay off the racing line. They do there, so no trouble for the leaders, but they'll be lapping some cars already, and the pit window still hasn't opened yet.
No, and looking at the comments, Lovebird saying it feels like I'm watching the PS4 Division 3 here with a lot of chaos.
No, it's much better than PS4 Division 3. Lovebird, it's much better than that. But Boothby closing in the final corner, but you see on the exit there the Porsche with the better acceleration. The gap's still 4 tenths between the two as they cross the line. So it looks like they might be holding position for quite a while, maybe until the pit stops. We'll have to see. But we'll go back trackside and have a look at what else is going on throughout the field. We've got Tadej in P3 defending against Thomas. Thomas started in started in P5, and he's made up a position already, and now he's hunting down Tadej in P3 for maybe a sniff or a chance at podium once again. It's still early doors, so we can't really say anything just yet, and we definitely don't want to put the curse on anyone because we're brilliant at doing that. Yeah, let's hope we don't put the curse on anyone. He's definitely got a chance for a podium. Anyways, you can see in the background there, Matt Whitburn in P5 now, having to defend against Seeley. Leon Seeley there for SOP Sports Racing had a nightmare of a start last time at Watkins Glen. I believe he retired on the first lap, and no, commentator's curse. It's happened. Thomas has made
did
a
it
mistake.
again.
Yep, we did it again. There was either contact or we made a mistake. I think he may have made a mistake and a bit of door rubbing there.
Oh, more contact.
And once again, Leon Seeley there. Oh, I really spoke too soon, didn't I? I think I've got to stop speaking and making predictions now, but Seeley losing quite a few positions there. He's got the car facing the right way now. But yeah, a bit of door rubbing through that final corner. It's happened again.
Yeah, the door rubbing can be quite dangerous. And of course, with your cursing.
Yeah, we're now watching Reed in P15. He's got Pryor on the back of him at the moment, followed by Baron McFarquhar. There's so many drivers here. And I believe Dave not too far off as well. Traction Dave, you can see him there in the background in the Porsche, recovering from getting stuck by one of the Mercedes earlier on through the Melbourne hairpin. But he'll definitely catch up with these four, nearly five cars battling. The pit window will open in about 10 minutes, so we might see some of these drivers in the back stuck in this pack, pitting quite early to try and go for an undercut. But it's Mercedes v Mercedes at the moment. Will McFarquhar look to in the inside? No, he doesn't. You can see there, Traction Dave has already caught up. And he's running the back of this pack already. Let's look further down the field. Our man running in P41 at the moment, Poulin, who's about 5-6 seconds off of Pisano, and P40 now is Pisano. So he's had a nightmare of a race so far, and he's going to have to let these lead cars through as well. So this could be one of Pisano's drop rounds as well. We move towards Clayton in P39. He's running on his own at the moment, but it looks like there's a good battle between Kasinskas and Hartfield. Yeah, Hartfield and P38, only a few tenths behind the Lexus driver there in P37, but looks like maybe the Lexus has some slight bit of damage on the back, but he seems to be pulling away once again as we enter Redgate, turn 1.
And of course, the Lexus being really fast on the straight. So overtaking on the straight won't be happening, I think.
Now, of course, and we look up towards P33 and P34. Mickey Taylor in P33, followed by Jamie Kennedy, also known as Redken Racing. Currently only 1.2 seconds behind the BMW in front, so he's going to be looking to close that gap and possibly make a move before the pit window opens. But these two very similar on pace at the moment. In fact, Jamie Kennedy lapping 3 tenths quicker that last lap at 129.1 from him. His fastest speed at 128.5, and he is definitely closing that gap now down towards 7 tenths, and it looks to be even less than that. And I believe that's Christian Hooschii. Yes, it is. He's got some serious damage on that car now. But I think he's going to wait till the pit window opens, but Kennedy avoiding that luckily. And likewise Taylor with a compromised line through the final corner. But the gap's still 1 second between these two, so keep an eye on these two as we go towards the top two battling for the lead here, and a much better exit out of the S's for Boothby. He's going to look towards the inside. Is he going to send it? No, he's not. The Campo later in the brakes, and he holds that position very well there. And Boothby currently with the fastest lap of the race at 126.097. The Campo currently with a 126.195 for their best laps. So,
and these guys already having the gap extended to, I believe it's 5.5.
Yep, 5.5 now, even while battling, which is unbelievable. So they've definitely got a lot more pace than the rest. Although that last lap, well, even while battling that last lap, they gained a tenth on today in P3. We'll bring that up now. You can see there Last lap today was a 126.447, and last lap for Boothby was a 126.342. We're still pulling away, even with that.
And now Thomas is dropping down the field. He dropped down to P10. Maybe there was a bit of contact, but still Boothby going for it.
Yeah, looks like Thomas struggling at the moment.
And a lot of cars just that shot.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars here. You can see there in the background, that is Sealy Borman, and Sealy Borman looking to the inside there. Thomas having to go over the gravel. He's going to lose a position to Borman, maybe a position here to Sealy. Can Sealy get past? He's already got past into the braking zone, and there we go. Thomas losing even more positions. I think it's definitely down to the commentator's curse, because he was running so well there for a podium position, and unfortunately, maybe has had a bit more contact since we last saw him lose the car. But he's going to jump into the pits. No, he shouldn't be doing that. The pit window's not open yet.
I hope for him it's just because he has the damage is too much. Otherwise, he messed up really bad here.
Otherwise, he has made a huge mistake. And it looks like one of the Audis off, I think. I believe that is that Clayton? Yes, it is. Clayton stopped the car there on the exit. I think he's trying to rejoin. He's waiting for the cars to get past. But it's going to knock a braking board down there as he does. But he's got going once again, which is good to see. But we look down towards this battle for P8, so it's Giovanni holding on here to P8. I believe that is Harry in front. He's going to have to let these guys pass. He's got some severe damage on the front of that Audi, but he takes to the gravel. I think that was probably the best thing to do. Chris Vining there in the Honda right behind, followed by Cosford, then Ryan Walker, then Borman, and then Sealy. This is a, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6 car battle.
Yeah, I had to count there. But, my God, we've got, this is probably the mid-pack battle that we want to keep our eyes on. And let's go on board here with Sealy. He's got a great view of this battle just up ahead.
And trying to close up to the Porsche in front of him, and Walker in the Edinomainen going a bit wide on the gravel, so the Porsche hopes he can close us up a bit. Sealy having some distance and looking down at the right bottom of our screen. Boothby is side to side.
Yeah, he's looking towards the inside, on the outside, sorry, but he's not going to get that move done. And back to Sealy, he has gained here, but Boothby looking back. Is he going to try and get this move done? He looks towards the inside there, and side by side these two. I think we're going to have to bring them up here together. And looks like Boothby has got that move done.
He got it.
Yep. And he's up into P1 now, and DeCampo down into P2. Now for Boothby. The question is, can he hold on, or can he pull away from DeCampo?
But what a move going up the inside of the first hairpin.
Yeah, and
and a bit of contact
there, yep. And looks like that was Walker and Cosford, I believe, coming into contact there. And Sealy gaining a couple of positions. Walker dropping right down the order. Down into P18 now, P19, oh, he's dropping even more. I'm not going to say anything more there, but I think that was inevitable with how close all 6 of them were racing. Let's see, they're up into P11 now, looking to catch back up to Borman. We had yellow flags just for a brief second, but we're back to green here. You can see the Porsche almost bottoming out there through the craners.
And Boothby getting a gap now to
yeah, he is.
Campo.
Yeah, correct. He is pulling away now from the Campo.
Sealy trying different lines just to try and overtake the Porsche, but Porsche had a way better exit there.
Yeah, it seems that Seeley gains through Old Hairpin, on the exit of Old Hairpin, and loses it towards the second and third sector. I mean, we'll have to see through these hairpins now if he gains or if he loses. You can see that huge mistake there for Borman, and he's onto the grass, and Seeley is going to get past. So I stand corrected. He actually gains in sector 3 as he makes that move, but he's gone slightly wide through Melbourne hairpin. Is that going to allow Borman to pull alongside? It is, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Seeley moves back over to the racing line, and there we go. Holds on to P10 for yet another corner.
And looking at the timing tables, what's really interesting, Sedor dropped a lot of places. He's now in P22.
Yeah.
Don't know what happened to him, but going to Bottomberger, who's also in a little train of like 4 or 5 cars.
Yeah, I mean, Sedor, he started P9. He's dropped 13 positions since the start, so he's not had the best start whatsoever. Bottomberger started P12, so he's only lost 2 positions here. He's running in P14 at the moment, but he's got... Oh, what's happened there? What on earth has happened there? I don't think I've seen that before. Who was that? I think someone had... someone's game either crashed or they've lagged out. Was it an Audi?
I don't know what happened.
Did you see that as well, Cody, or was it just me?
Yeah, I saw something happen. I cannot explain what happened. Yeah, looking back, it was an Audi doing, and I believe it's Benedetti Audi who was on his nose on the straight.
Yep, no idea what happened. I think his car wanted to become a submarine. Unfortunately, there's no water here, but we're currently on watching Walker, who's got Pizzak very close behind him. Pizzak in the run DJC livery there. Pizzak started in P18, so he's down 2 positions as well. But Walker is on a recovery drive now after having a bit of an incident earlier on. You can see there, Traction Dave now into the pits. We've got a few drivers into the pits as well. Kosinskas being one of them in the Lexus.
And probably these are all cars with damage. They want to get, of course, the damage as fast as they can off the car, get the car repaired, and go on with the race.
Yeah, or even ones that want to go for an undercut. You know, they could be stuck in a battle where they know they're quicker, but they just can't find a way past. But we look back to Boothby, who's opened up that gap to De Campo by a second now, but De Campo still not letting him pull away. He's managing that second gap.
And with the Porsche not really fast on the straights, but maybe the livery of Boothby is playing mind games with De Campo, and Boothby running a bit wide on the grass there.
Yeah, but he hasn't lost any time. But yeah, the livery definitely. You know, looks like it would hypnotise someone. And I think De Campo... Oh, actually, De Campo gaining now. The gap's only 7/10 between these two. Borman now into the pits. Cosford still keeps it out on track, so he gains a position up into P9. Yeah, looks like the gap between these two will stay at about a second. We move down to Van den Heuvel's. No, sorry. That was Reed into the pits. Van den Heuvel still out on track, followed by Pryor, then Walker, and then Pizzak. So these four, another battle going on. And like last week at round 1, there were non-stop battles even during the pit window phase. So I think that's what we're going to see at this time as well.
Yeah, so it's good that we have a lot of battles, of course, keeps us busy. But Pizzak trying to close up to Walker for the position of P15. And Van der Heuvel is still in front trying to defend Pryor in the Audi.
And you can see that
Look how close it is.
Got a bit deep into the brakes, had a bit of understeer. And He's lost some time as a result, but it's not going to matter too much. He's still keeping up with the strain. And Walker with a great exit out of the S's. Is he going to look for a move here? He's not going to. Pryor going defensive, and Pizzak, can he slip the nose down the inside? He's going to try it. They're going to be side by side on exit. We go back to track side here, and Walker is going to have to defend this position into the final hairpin. Pizzak, can he try for a switchback? He's going to try it. Spottle almost making contact. I thought there would have been contact between the two, but Pizzak diving into the pits. A last minute decision there. I think a very wise one to make as well. He knew he was going to be stuck behind them. And he could have a very good opportunity here for an undercut.
But I don't think that pit stop was planned because he was on the brakes really hard.
Yeah, it's a very last minute decision for him. We've got Baron here, only a few tenths behind Vining in P8. So we've got P8, P9 and P10 all battling for position. And it looks like that's Sidor in front, who's obviously already served his mandatory pit stop, who may have to give way for these cars behind. But,
yeah, of course he's now on a lap back.
He is. He's off into the grass as well. When he's almost lost the car there, he's held it just about. Yes, Sidor really struggling, and he's made contact with someone there as well into the braking zone. Sidor not having the best race whatsoever. I think that was one of the BMWs he made contact with. Was that Julius V's? It was. They were actually battling for position. So V's is not going to be. V's is not going to be happy with that one bit.
And I think the stewards will have a busy week coming up with a lot of contact here and there.
Yeah, that's GT racing for you though. There's always a bit of contact. Yeah, and this many cars on the grid. What have we got? 40 cars on the grid at the moment. So it's unbelievable. Especially on a small track like Donington. There's not much room for overtaking. And that's the problem with the British tracks. You know, you've got grass on the exits. Well, apart from Silverstone, you've got a bit more room on there. But all the other tracks, you know, Alton Park, Brands Hatch, it's just grass on the exits. You've got no space for making any mistakes, and not much space for overtaking either, which is of course what we've been seeing throughout this race. We've got 3 Porsches here battling for position. It's Traction Dave in P25, followed by Borman, then Pizzak, and then I believe that is a Honda who is either a lap down or a lap ahead. They might be yet to pit. You see one of the drivers exiting the pits there. I believe that's one of the Ferraris. I think that was Dave Poulin, who has now served his mandatory pit stop.
And also Bishop going a bit wide, and did he lose a position? No, it's a back marker.
Yeah. One of the Hondas that I think haven't pitted yet. So where he's got no reason to worry about them.
But from P25 to P29, it's all Porsche.
Yeah, it is, exactly. It's great that the Porsches are grouped up. We've got a few more Porsches further up as well. Cameron Pugh being one of them now into the pits there in P18. And they looks like Van den Heuvel into the pits as well, Visala into the pits as well. So all 3 of them pitting at the same time. Let's look back to the race leader, Boothby, and Ed De Campo still separated just by a few tenths here, and they've navigated their way through some traffic. It looks like without any hassle there, neither of them have lost time on each other, not lost or gained time on each other. And the gap's still 7 tenths there. The Honda of Yezi into the pits now, and looks like Pryor and Walker just separated by 2 tenths here. Walker's going to have a great opportunity to send it down the inside, and no, we've seen so many drivers go for that dummy, but Pryor here not phased one bit. He sticks to his racing line and holds on to P11.
Yeah, maybe with Walker still need to pit, maybe he can go for a little bit of an undercut quite strong, and he's going into the pit lane, so Walker Pryor has a little bit of space. And with the BMW in front, who is a lapped car, I believe, he has a little bit of time.
Yeah, you predicted that perfectly. With Walker diving into the pits. Looks like
It's something else of a commentator's curse.
yeah. Oh yeah. Let's hope he doesn't get a drive-through penalty or anything now for speeding in the pits or stop go 30. That would be the ultimate commentator's curse. But it looks like for P13 and P14, we've got Bilotti and Whitburn here. Paul Whitburn. There's two Whitburn drivers. Matt Whitburn is currently running in P11 and Paul Whitburn in P14.
And what a move!
Yeah, what a move there from Bilotti. But I believe they are father and son, so it's good to see the father and son duo racing on track together. Bilotti for Assetto Racing Team has made the move. Now he's gone wide once again. That's going to allow Whitburn down the inside. Is he going to have it? He is.
Yeah, he
and
is.
there we go. Gains that position back, an immediate reply back for Whitburn, but can Bilotti now gets position back once again? They're chopping and changing positions here. And Bilotti with a much better exit. He needs to be later on the brakes if he wants to get this move done. I don't think he's going to have it. And there we go, has to back out of that. And Whitburn holds on.
And for the battle for the lead, the Campo just went into the pit lane for was mandatory pit stop. And going for the undercut on Boothby.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult task to do if he exits out in traffic, which we can actually check now. No, he's in clean air, so this is going to be crucial. But Boothby, is he in clean air? No, he's got that's Cosford, I believe, behind him. Now, will we see Boothby dive into the pits this lap? Yes, he will. Dives into the pits, trying to cover off that undercut from De Campo. And today now into the pits as well. Leon Searley will get promoted into provisional race lead unless he pits this lap too. And we've only got 9.5 minutes left of the pit window to go. And looks like he's going to keep it out on track here.
We'll go up into provisional P1. But of course, still needs to make his pit stop. Going back to P16 in the 80s of 87 car.
I got it there in the end.
We got there. Trying to defend from Traction Dave, I believe it is, in the green
Dave.
Porsche.
I think we called it the Hulk Porsche last time, and he's looking towards the inside. He's got a much better exit, and he's got that done there. They're coming down the back straight now. Can Baldwin find a way past as well? He's going to try and slip through, but I think with the slipstream of the Mercedes, no, the slipstream now being given to the Porsche of Baldwin, but yeah, it's not going to be enough. The Mercedes, an absolute beast in the straight line, and he's got a much better exit there through the S's. Is he going to look for a move into the Melbourne hairpin? He looks towards the inside. Dave not giving him any room, but he's gone deep on the brakes here, and can he get this move done? I don't think he's going to get it done whatsoever there, and backs out of that. So it's still as it were, but you can see in the background Pizik now catching up to this train, and looks like after the pit stops, Boothby has stayed ahead of De Campo, and I think De Campo's made a bit of a mistake here. No, that's him in the background, I think. He's stuck behind one of the BMWs, so he's going to have to try and get past as soon as possible, otherwise he's going to... No, I think that's actually Lexus. Let's switch them now, in fact, so we can double check here. So Boothby, currently in, he'll be in the net race lead here, and De Campo, yeah, De Campo really far back. You can see there, he's almost 4 seconds back, so he's had a bit of a blunder in the pit stops. And that just goes to show being stopped in your box correctly and gain you quite a lot of time.
Or did Boothby didn't go for new tires?
Yeah, that could have been the case as well. You know, not changing tires saves you 5 seconds in the pits, but a Honda might get a bit tricky to handle if that's the case.
And now it's Searley and Bilotti in the pit lane. And Pryor, I believe it's Pryor, yes, it's Pryor defending.
No, he's letting
from
pass
the
now. He's letting pass now there. They're not on the same strategy. You can see DeCampo has pitted prior, still yet to serve his mandatory pit stop. So they will continue there. Prior really had no reason to defend, so obviously let him through. Probably the best thing to do, because Prior doesn't want to lose time by defending, especially with his pit stop still to go. And I believe he was in a battle with, was it P16? With Farquhar?
Yeah,
I think it was.
And finding now in the pit lane, so that means Boothby goes up back into P1.
Oh, and a bit of contact
there.
there.
Bit of contact.
Yeah, with DeCampo and one of the BMWs. That's not what you want to see, but luckily DeCampo stays in place. And 5 minutes left to go for this pit window. Let's look further down. We've got Bonenberger battling for P12 here. Porsche versus Mercedes. It doesn't look like Bonenberger close enough to go for a move. They've got Barton close behind them, but Barton's still yet to serve his mandatory pit stop as well.
Bonenberger only 7 tenths behind now, and hopefully for him the cars in front slow down the Mercedes a little bit.
Yeah, and that's Vining exiting the pits now. He's come out behind Bonenberger, so he joins this battle. And this is going to be an interesting one for sure. They've got a bit of traffic in front of them and behind them. Barton obviously not going to be wanting to get involved in this battle.
And Baumann just made the move on P15 on McParker.
Yep, that's correct. He's up into P15 now, but currently still watching this battle. Looks like Vining's trying to get this move done on Bonenberger. That is, I believe that's Sullivan behind in the BMW. Behind Vining there, and then we've also got, of course, Barton in the Aston, and that was an interesting place for one of the cars to give away there.
There was a BMW who had a little bit of contact, I think, with Barton.
I think they were lucky to escape contact. I'm not too sure, but it just leaves these three to battle without any traffic now. Giovanni here, Bonenberger and Vining now. In clean air, the battle is just to themselves. Vining losing a bit of time here out of the final corner. But with these two up ahead battling, I'm sure we'll be able to close in.
And with only 3.5 minutes to go in the pit window, and Barton and Pryor still need to make their pit stops. So they need to come in next lap, I believe, otherwise they will be too late and there will be penalties.
Yep, they need to come in next lap, and I think we saw last time, well, not for this championship, but for the Next Level Racing Championship, we saw, I think it was Sidor who missed his pit window, but
he
luckily,
got a 180-second penalty.
Yeah, but luckily he's done it this time, and that's. It was quite an unusual mistake for Sidor to make, but he's got it. He's back in the rhythm now. He's got it sorted out. Although not running the best of races, he's down in P21 as we speak.
And look how close Bonenberger is to the back of the Mercedes. He's trying to set him up into the last hairpin. But the Mercedes with the great top end speed is way quicker. And oh, Barton in the back went into the wall, straight into the pit lane. But I believe he hit the pit entry.
Yeah.
And he lost a lot of time and he had a lot of damage.
Yep. I mean, he's going to need to repair that damage. He's going to need to select that on his MFD, tell his pit crew to repair that damage, otherwise he's going to come back out with no damage repaired. It looks like Sidor has got the move done on Reed there. So Sidor moves up into P19 and Reed down into P20. Curtin not too far off of Reed either, separated by 1.5 seconds. And look at Vining, he's closing in on Bonenberger now. And Bonenberger losing a bit of time there to Giovanni in front. So Bonenberger in a bit of trouble now. Question is, can he hold on? Definitely going to lose time to the Mercedes up ahead if they continue to defend.
I think Bonenberger needs to look more in his mirror now than he can look in front of him, because Vining is closing the gap, and the gap to the Mercedes already 1 second. So the Honda is coming for him.
Yeah, and Bonenberger slightly deep there into the final corner. I think he went for a bit of a late apex, but it hasn't really helped him. You can see he's got the slipstream of the Mercedes in front, but the Honda behind having a double slipstream, so even more effective down the straights. But he hasn't been able to close in just yet, so it's still as it were. Giovanni in P9, Bonenberger in P10, and Vining in P11. And looks like Pryor now into the pits as well. I believe that was the last driver to serve their mandatory pit stop, which is good to see. We look down to Kennedy here. He's upping on his own. Actually, he's got Clayton not too far behind. Clayton in P36, only 6 seconds behind. So this could be a battle to watch out for. We've also got Van Hoorn and Versala here, P28 and P29, battling for position. Van Hoorn there in the Astra Racing Team, Aston Martin, and Versala's really closed in there through that final corner. He's both of them flipping a wheel there onto the grass, onto the dirt. But Versala on a mission here to gain this position. There's a bit of a rhyme. I should become a poet. But yeah, 19 minutes into this race to go. And yeah, Versala hunting down Van Hoorn. Van Hoorn's going to have to think about defending. It's going to be a long time to defend if he can't pull away.
And I hope for him he doesn't have any damage of some kind, because driving with damage ain't helping your cause. And with Versala in the Porsche, with his great exits out of the corners, and the gap is come down to 7 tenths.
Yeah, it looks like this is where Van Hoorn was struggling last time. The Porsche only good through the corners and through the exits here. He's gained as well. Look at that! Look at that closing speed.
Look at the exit.
Yeah, he's going to be able to pull alongside, and looks down towards the inside. Van Hoorn moves to the middle of the track, but no. Versala backs out of that move, funnily enough. He looks to the exit once again, and is he going to try it here? No, he's not. But I think for Versala, he could have got that move done.
Yeah, I think he could have the position if he just was a little bit more committed.
Yeah, he just needed to be later on the brakes there, and I think Van Hoorn would have given him the inside of the corner.
Yeah, but now he needs to start over again with the gap back to 7 tenths, and he now needs to wait to see if Van Hoorn makes a mistake, but he makes a mistake himself.
Oh no! And yeah, all that hard work thrown out the window. Gap's now 2 seconds, and as you said, he's gonna have to do that work all over again. But we'll move back to Tom Curtin here and Johnny Reed, P20 and P21 once again. Another Astra Racing Team driver in the Aston, followed by a Porsche, and Reed into the pits. Oh no! What's happened to Reed?
Did he under fuel, or his car doesn't?
He's got a drive-through penalty. Reed has a drive-through penalty, and he's going to have to serve that now, so he's going to lose a number of positions here, which is a real shame. We look down towards P25 and P26. This is Q, followed by Rees there. I believe that's one of the Hondas. I think that is... Who were we talking about earlier? can't quite remember now.
One of the top guys. That's one thing I know.
It was. I'll find out in just a second. It was. It was Pisano, yes, that's who it was. Who is now running in P40. Actually, no, it's not.
Pisano retired the car.
Yeah, he's retired the car. So, it is one of the top Hondas. But, yeah, there's too many Hondas here with similar liveries. It's apart from Boothby, of course, he's got one that stands out the most, which probably helps us, in fact. Yeah, we'll get used to it over the course of the championship.
And Cameron in a 91 Porsche trying to catch up to Reed, with the gap only being 7 tenths. And he also needs to look in his mirrors because Wiese is closing the gap in the hairpin, with coming down to, it was briefly for a moment 7 tenths, but now it's back up to was second, with the Honda overtake him, not for position. The Honda is on the
lead lap, yeah.
On the lead lap. But you trying to make
space. Yeah, he's trying to let them pass,
space.
But as a
And he
result,
lost
yes, no, yeah, worst position, I think. A huge mistake for Pew. He timed that incorrectly, and he's made a mistake. Reed also making a mistake on the exit of Old Hairpin, and is that going to let V's through as well? It is. So V's makes 2 positions there as a result of both Porsches moving out the way of the lead car.
That's some smart driving from Wiese, with just following the lead car and hoping for the gap, and he pulled it off.
Yeah, and on the right-hand side we have Walker battling for P15 with Baron there. It's Aston versus Mercedes at the moment. Looks like Walker does have the upper hand at the moment. That last lap he was on a 126.9, whereas Baron on a 127.1 here, so a couple tenths quicker. But is it going to be enough to allow him to get past? I think he's going to need to try and force some pressure now on Baron if he wants to get past. The timer is ticking down, so he needs to force Baron into a mistake, because that Mercedes is not letting Walker past easily whatsoever.
Now, Mercedes, of course, having the right to defend on the Aston Martin. And the Aston Martin looking... Oh, and there's contact with the BMW in front.
Yeah, I believe that was... I think that's Sullivan. I believe he's a lap down, so he won't be in this battle. But luckily, neither driver getting spun out there. And we switch back to this battle for P8, in fact. Once again, we've got a massive train going on here. You have to bring this full screen. It's Cosford, followed by Giovanni, then Wattenberger, then Chris Vining, then Traction Dave, who's just on the tail end of this, and he'll be up to the back of them within a few moments, I believe. You see there in the background some of the braking boards being shattered into pieces. Someone obviously had an off there earlier on, but I think we're going to have to go on board here with the Honda of Vining. As you can see, they're following the slipstream. That's Wattenberger up in front, looking to the inside. Look how much Vining can close in. I think that was a bit of a mistake, because he's lost it all on the exit. But look at that. That is Cosford going extremely defensive into the Melbourne hairpin. Is he going to hold the inside? Looks like he is, and they're 3 wide.
3 wide.
In the middle, sandwich between them, but somehow they've kept it clean. And can they keep it clean? Coming up towards the final corner, Cosford, I know for sure, isn't going to back out of this. And there's been contact between the two. I think that was inevitable. They should not have made it 3 wide whatsoever. And Vining cutting towards the grass there. I think he had no choice to do so. But he's going to be side by side, and it looks like, yeah, Dave comes through as well, but the Wattenberger not happy with that one at all. I think whoever made it 3 wide there is going to be at fault.
And maybe this will go to the stewards, because you never know, in the heat of the moment replays will be saved. And Vining making a mistake with Bottomberger gaining the position back for P11, and now on the rear of Traction Dave.
Yeah, Vining had to slam on the anchors there to avoid coming into contact with Traction Dave, and as a result, Bottomberger flew back past. But Bottomberger really putting on the pressure here to Traction Dave. He's probably driving quite angrily now. He doesn't seem happy, and he's really putting the pressure on, trying to be as aggressive as possible to force Dave into a mistake, and he really wants to get past to continue battling with those ahead. But Cosford going defensive. You can see he's got a bit of damage on the front splitter there, on the front bumper, and a bit of bumping there between the two Porsches. And it looks like that is Kosintskas in the Lexus just letting them through here. But it's 3 Porsches now in this battle, with Vining just on the tail end. And look at that, Giovanni in front, who was deep into this battle, is now broken away nearly 3 seconds in front, and let's hope they don't make it 3 wide again. Bottomberger down the inside later on the brakes. Is he going to be able to hold it? They're still side by side here, and I think this is going to end in disaster. Let's hope it doesn't. But yeah, they're really, really ballsy to be going 3 wide into the final hairpin last time around. And Vining's going to try down the inside, bounces over the inside curb, but backs out of that sensibly. And look who's joined in the action. Hoorn and McFarquhar, who is only a 1.5 seconds behind. So this is some great battling we're seeing at the moment. And it's going to come down to the wire. This is going to be almost a 6-car battle once again, I think.
And looking at the comments, race elements saying 3 wide in the last corner, that will never stick.
Yep.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, as we saw, 3-1 does not go.
Bottomberger really close on the back of the Porsche of Cosford. With Dave still behind, so it's a Porsche battle with one Honda also involved.
And a bit of contact in the final corner. This is where we've seen the most contact. And I think Traction Dave then just tapping the rear end of Bottomberger, and the concertina effect taking place there. It's a bit like dominoes. Once the first person stops and hits, and the person behind hits them, and it just continues and continues and continues. And I think a bit of a racing incident there between this this pack. That's just a problem with that final corner when you're so close.
Yeah, and one mistake, as you can see, can lead into tears. But Bottomberger is still on the back of Cosford, and he hopes for a better exit going into the next corner, so he can set up a move.
Yeah, like you said, he looks like he has got a better exit, but he's not really catching. Cosford goes defensive. Bottomberger's going to need to focus on the exit here, which he does, but he's had to have a bit of a lift there on the exit. Cosford defending that position very well, and once again, it's 3 Porsches. Let's hope we don't see them 3 wide again, because this is what we saw last time, and it ended in a bit of a disaster. So let's hope they've learned their lesson. Looks like they have, and Cosford moving back over to the racing line. No, keeping the car on the inside there to hold that position. Bottomberger trying the outside. However, is that going to open the door for Borman? No, it's not. So it's still as it were. Cosford in P9, Bottomberger in P10, and Borman in P11. The 2 behind.
Really close driving.
Contact once again. Now it's Bottomberger making contact. Bit of contact there with Cosford, and as a result, he's lost the position now. So Borman up into P10. Gosh, we haven't been able to catch a break in this battle, and now it looks like McFarquhar and Vining catching back up once again, and looks like that is Dave Poulin off the track there. Really struggling so far. I believe this is his first race at the moment, but yeah, don't think he's liking that Ferrari one bit. He's got it going once again, which is good to see. Curtin now into the pits. Has he got a drive-through penalty as well? Let's have a look. He does. Drive-through penalty there for Curtin. And he's going to drop down the order there. You can see already dropping down the order. But let's have a look. Back to our race leader, Boothby.
8.2 seconds in front.
I mean, as soon as he got past, really he was able to pull away. I mean, he kept that 1 second gap to De Campo. It's in the pit stops where De Campo, I think, made a huge mistake. And in fact, we can bring up the pit stop times. Let's do that now, so we can just compare how much time De Campo actually lost in the pit stops. So here we go. Nope, that's ignore that.
Yes.
There we go. That's how many pit stops they served. And here we go. Boothby with 58 seconds. Yep. 2.3 seconds is how much time he lost. And Boothby's just been able to extend that gap lap after lap here. You can see.
And I don't want to curse him, but he has kind of had a field day after the pit stops, just making sure he's not losing a lot of time and just going on with his race.
Yeah, Boothby has been absolutely clinical so far. I mean, hasn't made one mistake. And yeah, let's hope we don't curse him. But I think he'll be all right, especially with that livery, bringing him some good luck in this championship. Yeah, that pit stop definitely threw away De Campo's chances of taking P1 at this race.
But of course, on the podium still, it's a good result. But of course, if you can win the race, why not? And I just saw Baumann pass Cosford, and some heavy defending going on from Baumann going up the inside. Cosford hoping he can have a better exit going for the wider line. And with McFarcar also closing in, and these two Porsches fighting, and Cosford almost with a mistake. He need to brake really hard for the first corner, otherwise he would run into the back of Baumann. And
we've got two Porsche battles going on here. Well, this is a 3-car battle at the moment. Baumann, Cosford, and McFarcar.
Oh, and Baumann almost lost it.
That was so close. He held that somehow, and I think might have to change his underwear after that one.
That would be a code brown for sure.
Yeah, code brown for sure. And we've also got the other battle that was mentioning just before that happened. It's Sidor in P. Sorry, not Sidor. Sidor in P16 and Josh and Dave in P17, who are now separated by a second and a half. So that battle's spaced out a bit more. But it's these three that we want to be watching at the moment.
And Cosford almost losing a position to McFarcar in the Mercedes. So Cosford cannot find himself a break.
No,
with
but
McFarcar going for the inside.
Yeah, he looks
on
towards
the
the
last
inside.
corner.
Is he going to get this done? Is he going to leave just enough room? Bit of door rubbing, bit of wheel banging between the two. But Cosford, can he hold the inside into turn one? I don't think it's going to be enough with the Mercedes with a superior straight line speed. No, he keeps it towards the inside, and somehow they're still side by side here. One of the Audis getting in the way. I believe that's Clayton, and that's going to allow Cosford through there. So Clayton, unfortunately, being a big factor in that battle, but I don't think he really made any mistake there. He was off the racing line. Actually, no, he wasn't. He was on the racing line, in fact. Pardon me. And he makes another mistake there in the background, so really struggling with that Audi is Clayton. Yeah, I don't think McFarcar's going to be happy with that one bit.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate, of course, for McFarcar, but there's still 2 minutes left, so he needs, if he wants to pass, he needs to make a hurry with it. But going back to this battle, still the gap is only 3/10, and the Porsche of Cosford and the front end looks like to have a little bit of damage, and the gap is, I think, closer than 3/10. McFarlane trying to set up a move, probably for turn 1.
Yeah, and you're not going to believe this, Cody. Van den Heuvel has a drive-through penalty.
Oh, another one with a drive-through penalty, and some cars going wide, and
yeah, I believe
lead
that's Kennedy, Jamie Kennedy. Yeah, he's just letting the lead cars through there. So great job by him by not getting involved. And we've got another, I believe that's Poulin as well. He's done an amazing job so far at letting the lead cars through. But we've got 2 battles going on here. So on the right hand side we have Simone Yezi and Matt Whitburn, P4 and P5. Simone in the Honda, and Matt Whitburn also in the Honda.
The Honda's being up the field quite a lot, and Baroni.
Yeah, Barone, he's running on his own at the moment. We switch back towards this battle. Walker now involved in it as well. So a 3-car battle.
Cosmo losing 2 places.
What a move there by McFarlane up into P10. And yeah, Cosford, I think he'll be able to hold this on the inside. Walker not able to get that move done. But we are in the final closing stages of this race. Where is our race leader? Boothby is...
Comes in.
Coming cross line. Yep, he's going to make it one more lap. He is. So there we go. Leaves a couple of seconds to spare as he crosses the line. And now we are on the final lap, and that gives Cosford another chance to try and fight back. That gives Walker another chance to try and get this position and this move done. And he runs slightly wide there. The Porsche bottoming out as well. Sparks flying there, and Cosford, I think he might just be thinking about holding on here to P11. McFarlane is almost, well, he is a second ahead now.
Yeah, with the defending Cosford needs to do, McFarlane can have a little bit of a breather and hopefully pull away. But going back to George Boothby, who is coming up to the fast chicane, I believe it is.
Yeah, the S's. And it looks like it's one of the Ferraris there, stopped on the side of the track. I think that's Dave Poulin who's stopped there. That would be what the yellow flags are for. But Boothby now coming up towards the final corner. What a race from him. Absolutely clinical, like I mentioned earlier. And hasn't put a foot wrong. Cosford now into the pits. He's gonna... Did he pick up a drive-through in the last lap? I think he did, but it's not who we're focusing on at the moment. Boothby crosses the line to finish P1. De Campo finishing P2 here. And today, with just one more corner to go. But yeah, Cosford picks up a drive-through penalty, and he has cleared that on the last lap, luckily. But he's dropped down to I believe P13. Yeah.
And today rounding off the podium.
Yeah, what a great race from him as well today. Started in P3, finished in P3. De Campo started in P1, finished in P2, and Boothby started P2 and finished in P1 at the end of the race. We'll see if we can get some interviews with these drivers. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Bear with us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get some interviews here for the top 3. Firstly, we have got Kevin. Kevin, what a race from you. Started P3 and finished P3 as well. I mean, unbelievable performance, and some great points for you as well for that race.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about the result. I'm kind of annoyed by the fact that I didn't get pole position because I messed up the last turn in qualifying, so that would have gave me pole. But it's a good point, also considering the start of the season wasn't great. So I'm really happy. I want to thank my team and my sponsors because they have been supporting me and the team. And obviously I win as a team, and they win with me as a team. So I want to thank them as well.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And next round at Spa, how are you feeling going into next round?
Yeah, honestly, I don't feel great. The Porsche obviously doesn't have a lot of straight line speed, so we're gonna have to kind of do a damage limitation, I would say. It's not gonna be a plain sailing podium like it was this time.
Yeah, exactly. Cody, anything to add? No?
No, I think everything has been said.
Perfect.
A great race and a great result for you.
Thank you. Congratulations also to George and to Mattia.
Yeah, thanks for joining us once again, and we hope for a good result for you next week.
Thank you. Hope to see you very soon.
Right, see ya.
See you.
Right, there we have it. That was Kevin today. I'm going to bring in Boothby now as well. We've got George here in for an interview. George, what a race from you. I mean, absolutely clinical was what I said on the broadcast. But yeah, I got that overtake done on De Campo, and then it was pretty much plain sailing from there.
Yeah, he did a really, really good quali lap. So I feel like I had a bit more time in the bank, but like, everyone says that, I guess. It's the first excuse. So I knew it's quite hard to overtake around this track. So if I wanted to do it, I needed to do it quick. And we had a really good battle on lap 1, but he just did it. He drove perfectly and maintained the lead. And then thought if I just stay behind him as close as I can, put him under pressure, maybe things can happen. And a few times he made mistakes here and there, and I wasn't able quite to pounce. But in the end, I just managed to get a really good run for the old hairpin, and it just sort of triggered all the events. And we managed to send it into the hairpin, and we sort of stayed together for a while because of all the back markers and stuff. But then after the pit stop, I just I don't know. It's like I just figured out how to drive this car.
I think I think he made a mistake in the pit stops as well. We had to look.
Yeah,
at
that's a lot of my chat was saying that. Yeah, because it was going to be close. It was going to be really, really close. But then obviously it was quite a gap, so they gave me a bit of breathing room. And maybe if he was closer, I would have been, under a bit more pressure and, prone to making mistakes as well. But I think because I had that gap, I was able to just sort of stretch my legs a bit. But it was still an awesome race, and I really enjoyed it, especially the last one as well, because there's such a big mix of grid.
Skill level.
Usually it's like if you're in a high split, it's like there's not much of a difference from the whole field. But here, obviously, there's quite a big gap, and I like it. It's fun. It adds more to the race. It makes it very interesting. So and it's quite strategical when you approach back markers and stuff like that. But everyone was super awesome. Anyone who I did overtake, awesome. Fair. I didn't have anyone, blocking or anything like that. It was just really fun. Same with the last round as well. So yeah, looking forward to round 3.
Yeah, glad to hear you enjoyed it. And round 3 brings Spa, and the Honda being pretty good at Spa. So
yeah, that's gonna be a struggle. That'll be a struggle.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough race. Yeah,
it is. It's one of those tracks.
Yeah, let's hope everyone can keep it clean on lap 1 as well. I mean,
yeah,
it's gonna be tough. But George, before you go, do you know that we've actually met in person before?
Where?
Brands Hatch in the minis.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh shit! Wait, so you did the? It was that thing I was there for the karting,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I won
yeah,
the
yeah.
indoor karting thing.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah,
And
great
another
to-
thing, George, you have been voted by our viewers for Driver of the Day.
I'll take it. Let's go. Thank you.
Nice one. Yeah, great to hear you. Good to hear from you once again, and we hope to see you back on the podium next round.
Hey, awesome, man. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Take care, guys.
Take care. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is your interviews here for this round. We'll quickly get the Driver of the Day voting up just in a second. Bear with us. Just give this a quick refresh. And there we go. As you said, Boothby taking Driver of the Day. Luke Whitehead, who isn't even here, somehow taking second, and De Campo in third. But yeah, I think Boothby with a well-deserved Driver of the Day there. But from me and Cody, that's it for this round here, round 2 at Donington Park, and we'll see you next time. But from us, good night and take care.